So here we have the new Nook Glowlight Plus from Barnes & Noble. And the last generation Nook Glowlight was a little disappointing. It had the new white color with a kind of rubberized rubber edge, which it didn't really feel premium. And it was very light, and it had a pretty nice screen, but it didn't really feel like the e-reader device to get, especially when compared to the one that came before, the Nook Simple Touch with Glowlight. It wasn't really enough of an improvement over that, and especially it eliminated the page turn buttons. The screen was a little better. The Glowlight was definitely much better than this older one. And they eliminated the SD card slot that's present on the older Nook, which was unfortunate because there are a lot of people that, they put their PDFs and EPUB files onto the micro SD card, and they would just, put it into their tablet or their e-reader and use it. But of course, they still have not they still have not added back the SD card slot for this new Nook, but they've made a lot of improvements that I think are, worth it. And it's always, I always think it's good to support competition. So, of course, Amazon's Kindle is dominating the market nowadays, and they're very nice devices. I had one in the past, Kindle Touch, and there's nothing wrong with it, but the fact that Amazon is killing off all these other competitors and all these retailers and everything, it's kind of sad, especially because I remember going to Borders back in the day, not Barnes & Noble, but similar, before they went under, and it was just a nice place to hang out and read and have coffee. And now hopefully that won't be, hopefully people can still do that, their local bookstore in the future. Not that Barnes & Noble isn't conglomero, but all that aside, whatever. So anyway, so the first thing that's different about this new Nook that you'll notice is the metal back. And it's definitely changed up, so it's got the logo up here on this little rectangle there. It definitely feels like a premium device. And the other change you'll notice is that the screen is flush with the bezel here. And I think that was a pretty solid move, because I was concerned at first, but the way this device is constructed with the metal back and the kind of textured plastic over here, that's a pretty nice white color. It's pretty good, and it has an anti-glare coating, and it's just pretty nice. Definitely a step above previous screens. And the other difference you'll notice on the surface is the Nook button, the N button. It's not a physical button now. It's a touch only button, and it does eliminate noise. I know a lot of people like to read at night, and if you have a roommate and they're trying to sleep and you want to read something or navigate to the home menu every time, you would have to hit that N button and it would cause noise, but now it's silent. Though of course when you're reading, if you hold it like that or something, you'll accidentally trigger the home button, which would be annoying. And software wise, it is a bit laggy. It's definitely the home button is definitely laggier than the physical home buttons have been. So that's unfortunate. But Yeah, and you've got your power button right here. And that's also pretty silent, so there's no clicking. And we can just test here the sharpness of the screen compared to the simple touch here. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the old one, but the new one is definitely sharper. I know it doesn't show very well on the camera, or maybe it does, but yeah, the new screen is definitely very sharp, and a definite improvement in that department. And you know, in the dark, the backlight is very effective on the new one. It was fine on the old one, and in the new one, the screen is definitely better. It's definitely better. And the other thing is page turns are pretty snappy. Everything in this new device is pretty snappy. I'd say, though, swiping to turn the page is faster than just tapping for some reason. Yeah, swiping is definitely faster than tapping. And the other major thing about this device is the Bnn readouts here. So of course there are other minor changes, like changes to the store layout and everything, but those aren't really that much of a difference. Everything is a little more streamlined. But the big thing is they're pushing the Bnn readouts, and so it gives you a selection of passages from several books in different genres. So you got fiction, romance, mystery, science fiction, fantasy, teen science. Yeah, all kinds of topics, and you can narrow it down to whatever topic you want. So let's go to mystery. And yeah, then it narrows it down to that particular topic. And you click on it, and you get a nice little excerpt from the book. And it's all right. And of course, there's sharing functionality. And you can share to, I believe, Facebook mainly. I don't know if you can share to other platforms, but I'm not particularly interested in that. So let's just go back. And yeah, so after you're done with the excerpt, you can go directly to the shop if you were interested. And yeah, you can either get a free sample or read the summary and get all the info on that if you're interested. So yeah, that's pretty much the Nook Glowlight Plus. I'd say it's pretty solid. It definitely feels premium. It's pretty snappy. I know it does have issues syncing up to Adobe Digital Edition, so if you get library ebooks, or if you download EPUBs from other bookstores that are DRM free, that you want to transfer to this device through Adobe Digital Editions and Adobe DRM, it's not working at the moment. Though I just got an update yesterday that says that that they have fixed the issue. I have not tested it, but it seems like they are definitely aware of the problem and are working to fix it. So I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker. And anyway, especially since Kobo has stopped selling their e-readers in the US, really, or stopped pushing them anyway. Yeah, it's important to have competition to the Kindle, and at the moment, this seems to be it. It's a nice device. It's got a good feel. It's definitely unique. And yeah, you can read your classics on it, your novels. The Nook bookstore is definitely comparable to Amazon's offering. And if you buy books that are on sale, like the Nook Daily Deal, that's always a different book, or Nook subscriptions to magazines and everything. Things are going to be pretty comparably priced to Amazon. Of course, Amazon's going to definitely have more sales, more discounts. But yeah, unless you need to buy 1,000 books at once at the same time, it's not going to be that much of a difference between the Nook bookstore and the Amazon one. So yeah, that's the Nook Glowlight Plus. I'll see you next time. So when I did the review video, I had the glow light turned off. And so it is a bright day, but I thought I would show what it looks like at the very highest setting. So now you know how it looks like at the base setting and the highest setting. It is very bright. It's good for daytime use. It makes it look really white, and it has a nice contrast. So yeah, it does get pretty bright. The light is definitely very evenly distributed, more so than previous generations. And yeah, it's pretty nice.